And on today's show, how to create more income for retirement. Part 3 of this week's series on Don't Worry, Retire Happy from Tom Hegna's public television special with nationally recognized author, platform speaker, and retirement expert, Tom Hegna. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to Innsmark, Life Specs, and Backroom Technician. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to the show, Tommy.
Hey, Steve. Great to be back.
Well, we've been talking all this week about your Don't Worry, Retire Happy, and a lot of this material is in your new book. We're going to talk about that in the second segment for a moment, but when I think about really maximizing your guaranteed income, we just touched on this yesterday about this thing, and I have to surprise. I'm so surprised advisors do not know deferred income annuities as part of the guaranteed income plan.
Right. Well, deferred income annuities are the hottest new product, and you know I love guaranteed lifetime income because your retirement is not about your assets; it's all about your income. And I say guaranteed lifetime income.
Do you think people are having a hard time, advisors, making the jump from net worth to income?
They are. In fact, there was a whole article written by Robert C. Merton, a Nobel Peace Prize winning economist, published in the Harvard Business Review about the retirement crisis. You can Google it and you can find it. And he says, you know, people are looking at their 401ks as assets, and they should be looking at it as income because they see $400,000. They think they're rich because they haven't had $400,000, but that's really only about $12,000 a year in income, and they're not rich at all.
Well, let's go to it. Let's talk about guaranteed income because to me, this is where we're going to have guaranteed expense loads that are going to go up every year. We can't get around that. Right. Utilities, gas, groceries. Right. I need to match up an guaranteed income plan that's going to take care of that.
Yeah, and Time Magazine said this: securing at least a base level of lifetime income should be every retiree's priority, at least if they want to live happily ever after. So I say guaranteed lifetime income is so important. Number one, for the ultimate success of your retirement. But number two, if you want to be happy, and I even throw in a third one, if you want to live longer, because there have been studies that show people who bought lifetime income tend to live longer than people who haven't. So that's
so apparently you feel obligated to die because you don't have enough cash.
So your sources of guaranteed income are pretty limited. You got Social Security, pensions, and whatever the shortfall is, that's where annuities fit. See, people don't understand. Annuities do things no other product can do. They can give you a guaranteed paycheck for the rest of your life. So the success of your retirement, as I said, is not about your assets. Your assets can be lost, they can be stolen, they can be swindled, they can be sued, they can be divorced, they can be decimated in a market crash. The success of your retirement is really about income, and I would argue guaranteed income and taking risks off the table. So, you know, here are the risks that we've talked about. And we've talked about this in the past, Steve. You know, there's market risk. We might have inflation, might have deflation. You might take out too much money, the sequence of returns risk. You might need long-term care. You might die. There's a lot of risks in retirement. But there's only one number one risk. The number one risk in retirement, hands down, is longevity risk. Why? Because it's not just a risk, it's a risk multiplier of all those other risks. See, the longer you live, the more likely the market will crash. The longer you live, the more likely you'll take out too much money. The longer you live, the more likely you need long-term care. So with all the research I can find on the subject of retirement from the smartest people in the world say, if you're going to retire successfully, you must take longevity risk off the table. Well, guess what? Stocks can't do it. Bonds can't do it. CDs can't do it. Real estate cannot do it. Only some form of an annuity can do it.
Now, when we think about this, remember, people are still waking up to this, and I've seen more in the public domain and secular media on longevity risk and annuities being the solution than I have in my entire 30 plus years in the business.
Sure, because it's math and science. There's no other product can do it. Like, none of these traditional products can take longevity risk off the table. See, here's the deal, Steve. If you retired at age 65 and you dropped dead at age 68, it wouldn't matter if the market crashed 4,000 points. It wouldn't matter if you withdraw 10% a year. It wouldn't matter if you forgot to buy long-term care. You didn't live long enough. But if you live to be 85 or 90 or 95, it's all those other risks that can wipe you out. So what math and science says is you've got to have guaranteed income, at least to cover those basic expenses in retirement. It's a personal pension-like stream of income, and you don't find anybody who says they don't like their pension, and you don't find anybody who says they don't like their Social Security. Well, guess what? Pensions are lifetime income annuities. Social Security is a lifetime income annuity. It's a guaranteed paycheck for life. And here's the compelling reason why, Steve. These are payout rates, and they're very current. There's, as of this month on immediateannuities.com, a 65-year-old is guaranteed about 6.64% a year, every year for the rest of their life. If they want a guarantee where that guarantee would continue if they were to die, because a lot of people say, what happens if I die? You know what's so funny? When you were selling life insurance, everybody swore they were never going to die. As soon as you start selling guaranteed lifetime income, they all swear they're going to die tomorrow. What happens if I die tomorrow? Well, if you happen to die tomorrow, this paycheck could continue to your family for the rest of the money that you put in there. Age 75, you're talking 9% or 7.63. Age 85, 14%, 10% with a guarantee. Where can an 85-year-old put their money and be guaranteed 10% a year for the rest of their life?
Now, when people look at this, they say, how can a company make 14.28%? How do they do that?
That's a great question, and I talk about this in the TV special. These are not interest rates. These are payout rates. These are cash flow rates. So let me give you an example with an easy number. Let's say you got $100,000 and you put it into a lifetime income annuity. If you're 75, it guarantees you $9,160 a year for the rest of your life. If you want the guarantee, it'll guarantee you $7,630 a year. But that includes principal, interest, and these mortality, or what I call in the special, longevity credits. These longevity credits are the secret sauce of guaranteed lifetime income. And if you try to retire and you don't have any longevity credits in your portfolio, math and science will prove that it's suboptimal, less than what it could or what it should be.
When you were on this PBS special, now I have a question, and then we'll cut for the break. Do people understand, consumers understand this new move? We're not using mortality credits, which is our industrial language. Now we're using longevity credits.
Well, I did longevity credits because Moshe Milevsky calls them longevity credits. They make sense. They're credits that you get the longer you live. It's like a bonus for living longer. The longer you live, the more of these longevity credits you get paid. It's the same as mortality credits, so I don't want people to get confused. But longevity credits is the way that I'm explaining it.
Well, I like it. I think that's the way to go, because that's deindustrializing our language to the consumer.
Right.
We come back from the break. We're going to talk about maximizing our Social Security benefits. If we can do a tandem idea here, putting these ideas with our Social Security, this could be huge. We'll be right back. It's not how much money you make for your clients, it's how much money they get to keep, especially in retirement. But retirement income could cause Social Security benefits to be taxed. One tax advantage alternative is life insurance, designed as a non-modified endowment contract that can generate tax-free income without taxing Social Security benefits. These contracts offer differing funding options depending upon your client's risk tolerance. For more information on how life insurance can be part of your retirement planning, just email me at steve@downtobusiness.tv. Brought to you by Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back to our second segment. Of course, we're with Tom Hegna. Tom, talk a little bit about your book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy, and all the ancillary material that's around it.
Yeah, so we got the whole TV special. So the TV special has a DVD that you can literally have a client watch it. And many companies have even compliance approved it for use with clients. So you can use it with a client, have them read the book. So if they watch the DVD, read the book, it can really help make those sales, all right? There's a bonus DVD on guaranteed income, the importance of guaranteed income, and life insurance in retirement. And then there's a couple things that'll be for this segment. There's a Social Security guide where I put all my best ideas on how to maximize Social Security benefits. Again, this is for the consumer. And these are items they can get when they pledge on public television. And then there's a 2-disc CD on the importance of understanding long-term care and maximizing Social Security benefits. There's an audiobook. There's all these ancillary products that people can get.
Well, when we're talking about maximizing Social Security, I get the math here. I mean, where are you going to get 8% simple and then have a inflation rate when you take it if you can just wait till 70? But sometimes it's tough to wait because people say, this is all I have.
Right. So let's just take a look. For most people, what's their biggest asset? Is it their pension? Is it their 401k? Is it their house? It's actually their Social Security benefits. So many people don't realize Social Security is a huge, huge deal. In fact, if you're single, it can pay up to $500,000. If you're married, it can pay even over $1 million. I think I was just with Curtis out in Las Vegas just last week, and he showed a thing with inflation protection that Social Security could pay over $2 million to a couple over their lifetimes. This is a large chunk of money, and yet most people spend more time planning their summer vacation than they do planning the start date for their Social Security benefit.
This is seriously important, what you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Because everybody's thinking, I'll just go wait till my full retirement age, and then I'll just do it then.
Yeah. So, here's how Social Security works. Both the employee and the employer put in 6.2% of their income up to $117,000. Now that's indexed every year. In 2015, that's going to go up to over $118,000, I think 500. Then there's each 1.45 for Medicare and Medicaid. Then to become eligible, you have to have 40 quarters where you paid into Social Security. Now, the quarters don't have to be consecutive, and they'll never expire. But here's an important thing, Steve. The benefits are calculated based on the average of the 35 highest years of earnings. So if somebody retires when they're like 52, which they could, they may only have 25 years of Social Security. Guess what those other 10 years get credit at? Zero.
Zero, wow.
So sometimes it's worth it just working a few more years to maximize your Social Security benefits.
And you need a minimum of 35 years.
35 years. Well, that's what they use. You need at least 40 quarters, at least 10 years, but they base it on the 35 highest years.
I don't think people know that.
No. And so now let's get into what you were talking about. So if you're 66 and the full retirement age right now is 66, for every $1,000 that you get in Social Security benefits, if you take it early at age 62, you only get $750. But if you wait till 70, you get $1,320. But let's break those out. Look at that. $750, $1,320, $750, $1,320. This is almost double what you'd get, and this doesn't figure in the cost of living. With cost of living, this will almost certainly be double what you would get at age 62. And as you were saying, where can you double anything in 8 years in this interest rate environment?
Now, when I think about this, do you think that most consumers know this?
I don't think so. And if they do, they'll say, well, I'm not going to live that long. Well, the fact is they are going to live that long. They're going to live much longer than that, because right now, for a male life expectancy at age 65 is 85. The female is age 88, but as a couple, their life expectancy is 92. So let's say you have a husband and wife, and the husband made more than the wife. If he takes his early, he lowered hers too, because remember, when he dies, she gets his. So would it be better for the spouse to get that or for the spouse to get that? See, that covers both lives on the breadwinner, and that's the most important thing. So if somebody wants to take it at 62, and I get it, people say, man, I paid in all these years, I want to get it. Take it from somewhere else. Take it from your IRA. Take it from your 401k. Set up a lifetime income annuity to bridge you from age 62 to 70. But this covers two lives, and this is inflation protected. And Steve, where can you get that anywhere else?
So if I have people pre-retirement, maybe let's say age 55, I need to start thinking in my mind, I need a bridge. Somehow I need to bridge this 8-year period, because it really is to my benefit to do this.
Right, and Curtis Cloak, who's been here before, has shown you deferred income annuities with a period certain that can do that bridge very simply. So there are many ways to do it, but you want to figure out how to do that. People say, well, what's my break even? This is a great question. I love this slide, because if you take it at 70 versus age 62, your break even is age 79. If you take it at age 66 versus 62, your break even is age 76. If you wait age 70 versus age 66, your break even is 81. So your break even is either 76, 79, or 81. People say, well, I'm not going to live that long. No, the facts are they're going to live probably much longer than this. Because remember, we said for a couple, life expectancy is 92. For a male, it's 85. For a female, it's 88. That's well beyond these break even ages. So most people will do better delaying. Now, not everybody. If your health is bad, if you have a reduced life expectancy for some reason, for some people, maybe they should take it early. But for the vast majority of people, at least having the breadwinner delay makes so much sense.
When I think about all the mortality calculators that are out there on the web right now, where they ask you 50 to 100 questions, and if you answer them honestly, you'll be surprised how many people are going to be creasing into the 80s and 90s, and that's not even extraordinary longevity based on maybe their preferred exercise and diet.
That's right. And so there's three major benefits. If you want to know Social Security, I can make it as simple as I can. You want to know your benefit, your spousal benefit, and your survivor benefit. Those are the three benefits. Know your benefit, spousal benefit, survivor benefit. Once you know that, there are all kinds of other strategies. We can do file and suspend. We can do restricted application. You can collect on your ex if you're divorced. And I go into all those things. There's a whole chapter in the book, and there's the Social Security guide.
This is a huge slide, Tommy. One of the best slides I've ever seen. This maps this out. I get it on the first pass. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Remember, before moving forward with any of the ideas on our show, always consult your tax advisor, legal counsel, or your broker-dealer compliance officer. Missed an episode? Just go out to our video archives. And remember, you could be wiser as an educated advisor. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you tomorrow.